Hello friends, today we'll be discussing about Planck's quantum theory of radiation. In the previous video we discussed about the wave theory. Now let us see what Planck's quantum theory of radiation says. The main points of Planck's quantum theory are, like, first point is radiant energy is emitted or absorbed not continuously but discontinuously in the form of small packets of energy called quanta. So the radiant energy is always either emitted or absorbed always in the form of small energy packets, we call it as quanta, and it is emitted discontinuously. Okay, there is no continuity in the emission or absorption process. There will be always emitted in the form of quanta, small packets of energy called quanta. In case of light, we can say that this quantum of energy is photon. We call it as photon. The second point is the amount of energy is associated with the quantum of radiation is proportional to the frequency of radiation. That is, energy is proportional to the frequency of the radiation, that is E is equal to h nu. E is nothing but energy of the radiation, h is nothing but Planck's constant, and nu is nothing but frequency of radiation. H is Planck's constant, whose value is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second, or 4.136 into 10 to the power minus 15 electron volt second. Nu is frequency, and we know that frequency is equal to C upon lambda. So we can write it as E is equal to HC upon lambda. The third point is a body can emit or absorb energy only in terms of integral multiple of quantum. That is, E is equal to NH nu, where N is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. It means that it can absorb or emit energy in the form of either h nu or 2h nu or 3h nu or 4h nu and so on. And it cannot be emitted or absorbed in the form of fractional values. It will be always in the form of n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Now, let us explain the photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect means what? It is a phenomena of ejection of electrons from a surface of metal when light of suitable frequency strike on it. So, if we have a metal and a light of suitable frequency strike on it, then there will be ejection of electrons from the surface of that metal. See, you can see you have a metal. So if there is photon, that is light, if it is emitted, it is strike on this metal, then the electron will be emitted from this metal. Einstein explained the photoelectric effect on the basis of quantum theory. According to him, electrons in the metals are held by some attractive forces. To overcome these forces, it needs some certain minimum amount of energy, which depends upon the characteristics of the metal. And this minimum energy, we call it as photoelectric work function, or W0. Okay, so we can say that this is the light photon, this is falling on the metal, and if this has the energy is equal to that of photoelectric work function, then only this electron can be emitted. Okay. Now, to cause the ejection of electrons, the photon should have the energy equal to that of, or it can be greater than that of this W0. So if it has minimum energy equals to photoelectric work function, that is W0, we can say that the electron will be emitted, and if it is less than that, the electron cannot be emitted. If it is more than that or equal to that of photoelectric work function, then the electron can be emitted. As per quantum theory, energy of photon is directly proportional to frequency of the radiation, that is E is equal to h nu. So the incident photon should have minimum frequency called threshold frequency. Okay, so E is equal to h nu, and if this nu, that is frequency, if it is equal to threshold frequency or critical frequency, then we can say that electron will be ejected. So we can say that photoelectric work function, that is W0, it is nothing but energy. So we can say that this is proportional to h nu. E is equal to h nu will become W0 is equal to h nu 0, where nu 0 is nothing but the minimum frequency required by the photon, incident photon, so that the electron can be emitted or ejected. So that is called as threshold frequency. If the frequency of radiation is less than nu 0, energy of photon will be less than the minimum energy required to eject the electron, and no electron will be ejected, irrespective of intensity of radiation. So it is not dependent on the intensity of radiation, and it is dependent upon the frequency of radiation, or we can say it is the energy of radiation, and it is not dependent on the intensity of the radiation, nor it is dependent on the duration of irradiation. Like if you say that if there is more intensity and if it is if the radiation is for more time, so it is not necessary that electron will be ejected. Electron will be ejected only when the minimum energy must be equal to that of the photoelectric wave function, that is W0, that must be equal to h nu 0, where nu 0 is nothing but the critical frequency or threshold frequency, which is minimum required frequency to eject the electron. So if the incident photon has this much of frequency, then the electron can be ejected, otherwise it cannot be ejected. So we can say that the ejection of electron is not dependent on the intensity of radiation nor the time duration of the irradiation, but it is just dependence upon the frequency of the radiation. If the photon has more energy than required to remove the electron, then what happens? Let us see. Then this excess energy, like minimum energy, is used up in ejection of electron. The excess energy is taken up by the electron, will be emitted in the form of kinetic energy. You can see here, light is falling on the metal. So we know that electrons have some binding energy within them. Okay, so these are the electrons on the metal surface. Light of energy h nu or more than some h nu is falling on the metal. Depending upon the characteristics of the metal, this electron will be ejected. If this nu is greater or equal to nu 0, then only this electron can be emitted. And if the photon has more energy than h nu 0, then the excess energy will be given out in the form of kinetic energy. So we can say that total energy is conserved. So Einstein equation can be written as h nu is equal to h nu 0 plus half mv square. Okay, so h nu is nothing but energy of the photon. H nu 0 is photoelectric work function, that is W0, plus the kinetic energy, that is the excess amount of energy which will be given out. So half mv square is kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is equal to, then what we can say, half mv square, which will be equal to h nu minus h nu 0. That is, h nu is the actual energy of the incident photon. H nu 0 is what? The energy required to remove the electron. The difference of this energy will be emitted in the form of kinetic energy, which we call it as half mv square, that is kinetic energy of the electron. So kinetic energy is equal to, we can say, hc upon lambda, where nu is equal to c upon lambda. Here also nu is equal to c upon lambda 0. So we can take out this c and we can write hc equal to 1 upon lambda minus 1 upon lambda 0. So but we can conclude the following points here. The kinetic energy of photoelectron is directly proportional to frequency. That is, kinetic energy is equal to h nu minus h nu 0 was the formula. So we can say that kinetic energy of photoelectron is directly proportional to its frequency. And the second point what we can say is kinetic energy of photoelectron is independent of intensity, because increase in intensity does not affect the energy of the photon. it only increases the number of photons falling on the surface of the metal. Third point that we can conclude is photoelectric work function depends on the nature of the metal. The metal having higher ionization energy has greater value of photoelectric function. Ionization energy is what? It is the amount of energy required to remove the electron from the outer orbital of the atom. Okay, so if a metal has higher ionization energy, its photoelectric work function also will be greater. So from this diagram we can take an example. Suppose potassium is having 2 electron volt that is required to eject the electron. So suppose if the energy photon that is falling on it has less than that of 2 electron volt, then what happens is no electrons will be ejected. If it is more than 2 electron volt, then there will be emission of electron. You can see 550 nanometer is a wavelength. If we are taking, then we can say that there will be ejection of electron in case of potassium. And if more is falling on the metal, that is if it is a 400 nanometer and 3.1 electron volt, then what happens is we can say that there will be ejection of electron. So more can be possible. If the frequency is more, then it is possible that electron can be emitted, and the additional amount of energy will be emitted in the form of kinetic energy. Next is dual nature of electromagnetic radiation. Now, in the dual nature of electromagnetic radiation, dual means two different nature. So one nature is electromagnetic radiations consist of small packets of energy called quanta. So these packets of energy can be treated as particles. So we can say that electromagnetic radiation has particle nature. The another assumption is radiations exhibits phenomena of interference and diffraction, which indicates that they possess wave nature. So finally, we can conclude that electromagnetic radiation has particle nature as well as wave nature. Okay. So this is a dual nature. Suppose E is the energy of the photon. We know that E is equal to h nu is a formula that we have learned. Now, according to Einstein's equation, energy E is equal to even mc square. So we can say that h nu is equal to mc square. So here we are equating h nu equal to mc square, where m is mass of electron, h is Planck's constant, nu is the frequency of radiation, c is the velocity of radiation. So we can say m is equal to h nu upon c square. Nu is equal to c upon lambda. So we can write, instead of nu, we can write it as c upon lambda. So the equation will become h c upon lambda c square. So this is the formula, m is equal to h c upon lambda c square. C will get cancelled off. So m is equal to h upon lambda c, where m is nothing but mass of the electron. So if we want to find out mass of electron, we have the formula h upon lambda c, where h is Planck's constant, lambda is a wavelength, c is the velocity of the electron. Dependence of kinetic energy of photoelectrons on frequency and intensity of the incident radiation. So let us discuss that. So if we have a graph of kinetic energy of ejected electron and frequency of light, and another graph we have kinetic energy of ejected electrons and intensity of light. As I said that intensity of light is nowhere related to the kinetic energy of ejected electrons. So intensity of light, whatever is intensity of the light, kinetic energy will be always constant. But if the frequency of the light is increasing, then you can see the kinetic energy of the ejected electrons is increasing. And the minimum is nothing but nu zero, that is frequency of the light at minimum frequency of the light required to eject the electron is nu zero. So you can say if the frequency of light increases and reaches to nu zero, the ejection will start, and once the ejection of electron is possible, after that whatever extra energy is present in this, that will be emitted in the form of kinetic energy. So we can say that frequency of light is increasing, it reaches to nu zero, At this point, the ejection of electron will take place, and after that, whatever energy, extra energy, whatever will be there, that will be emitted in the form of kinetic energy. So kinetic energy of the ejected electrons is increasing with increase in frequency, but it is independent of the intensity of the light. So this could not be explained by wave theory of light, according to which energy of light depends upon the intensity and not the frequency. Now let us take an example, numerical problem. Calculate the mass of photon. So we have the formula for mass of electron we can calculate. So here we are calculating the mass of photon of sodium light, which is having a wavelength of 5894 angstrom. So wavelength of light is given as 5894 angstrom, means it is multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. Velocity of light, we know that it is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Here we are considering in terms of meters. So here also we are considering in terms of meters per second. Mass of photon is what? M is equal to H upon C lambda. Just in the previous slide only we have calculated that. So we can write H, value of H as 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 kg meter square per second. And C is velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. And lambda is wavelength of the light, that is given as 5894 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. So mass of photon will come out to be 3.75 into 10 to the power of minus 36 kg. Another question, find energy of photon. We have to calculate energy, that is E, which corresponds to the light of frequency 3 into 10 to the power 15 hertz. So frequency is given, nu is given. Calculate energy of photon of light having wavelength 0.50 angstrom. So we have two different cases here. So let us see the solution for that. E is equal to h nu is the formula we have. So h is Planck's constant, 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. Nu is given as 3 into 10 to the power of 15 per second, okay, hertz. Okay, so we can have 1.989 into 10 to the power minus 18 joules. Another case, E is equal to h nu, we have nu is equal to C upon lambda, and we have h value as Planck's constant value, C as velocity of light 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second, and lambda is given as 0.50 angstrom, means 0.50 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. So that is equal to 3.98 into 10 to the power of minus 15 joule. Another question, light of wavelength 400 nanometers strikes a metal. So wavelength lambda is given. The photoelectric wave function of metal is 2.13 electron volt. That is W0 is given as 2.13 electron volt. Find out maximum kinetic energy of photoelectron that strike the metal. So kinetic energy we need to calculate. So energy required to eject the electron is what? E0 is equal to 2.13 electron volt as given in the question. So that is equal to 2.13 into 1.6 multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. Okay. And so it will be coming out to be 3.41 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. Energy of photon is E is equal to h nu, or we can say hc upon lambda. So by calculating h as Planck's constant, c is velocity of light, and lambda is given already 400 nanometer. We are converting it into meter, that is 10 to the power of minus 9. I can multiply with that. So the value will come out to be 4.97 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. Now let us calculate the energy of photon. For photon, we know that E is equal to E minus E0. Okay, that is E is what? 4.97 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule, and E0 is 3.41 into 10 to the power of minus 90 joule. So we have E0, which is nothing but the minimum energy of energy required to eject the electron, and E is nothing but the actual energy of the photon. So we can have the kinetic energy as the difference between these two, because E is what? The actual energy, the total energy, whatever the photon has. E0 is the minimum energy to eject the electron. So, and I said before also that the difference will be emitted in the form of kinetic energy. So kinetic energy equal to E minus E0. So that will come out to be E is 4.97 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule, and E0 is 3.41 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. So the kinetic energy will become 1.56. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you all.